Hi everyone, welcome along to the Sweet Spot. It's the Racing Post's weekly golf show with Bruce Millington and Steve Palmer. We've got 3 tournaments for you this week. Hopefully Steve is armed with some winners. Before we get stuck into those, let's look back on last week and we'll start with the Aviv World Championship in Dubai, Steve. JB Hansen got the job done. It was a bit of a near miss, wasn't it? I thought our old pal Min-Woon Lee was gonna come up trumps for us, but didn't quite happen, did it?
No. There was a lot of adrenaline going through the system last week because at one stage it looked like we might get the crown jewels. The one solace is that we got the place part of the each-way double up because you always do a strong each-way double on the 2 number 1 selections. Min-Woo Lee finishing 4th, Scotty Scheffler finishing 2nd, activated that. But obviously, we were hoping for better. I mean, Min-Woo Lee, I think we've got to be happy with the place. He never really got a grip of the Dubai Championship, whereas Scotty Scheffler very much did. He looked like the man to beat going into the back 9 of the Houston Open on Sunday. I know he's a maiden, but at that point, his main leaderboard rival was a 1,000 to 1 chance, a pre-tournament 1,000 to 1 chance, Martin Traynor. So, the biggest concern all weekend was Jason Kokrak lurking there, wasn't he?
I hadn't really noticed Jason Kokrak.
Oh, did you not notice?
All of a sudden, he hit a 4-hole birdie blitz and put it to bed, didn't he?
Well, we were tipping him for a top 5 finish every 5 minutes on the GolfWise Extra. We were concerned about Jason Kokrak. That was his course debut, and he slowly but surely got to grips with it. 3rd round, 66, and then, as you say, 4 under par for his final 6 holes. Flew past Scotty Scheffler, who made bogey at 10, 11 and 14. So, another 2nd place.
Oh, well, there it is. I must admit, I almost got very, very lucky indeed, because I always do some small each-way doubles on your selections. And on Sunday morning, I noticed that rather than do Roman Langasque, I'd accidentally done Francesco Laporta at 66. So I thought, blimey, this is good. But it was quite weird actually coming home. It was quite boring in a funny sort of way. Do you know that Laporta and Hansen shot exactly the same score as each other for each of the last 8 holes? So, sometimes you get these absolute thrillers. He just held him at bay, and he made a real Horlicks of the second shot to the last, didn't he? That was an abysmal shot, that, wasn't it? But so it wasn't to be.
Not a lot happened, and score-wise, and it took ages to happen, didn't it? I mean, Hansen's slow, Laporta is slow.
Oh, Laporta's terrible. I've literally never seen anyone line up putts as laboriously as Laporta. It's abysmal.
Yeah, it was difficult to watch, wasn't it?
It was, and they weren't showing other people.
Putts. Wishy-washy putts. You take ages and then just sort of wafted it at the hole. And I wasn't impressed with Francesco in contention. They never won before. It showed Sunday.
Still, if you back Hansen at, what was he, 66 or something like that, fair play to you. I'm sure you enjoyed it no end. I did like the course in America, Memorial Park, Steve. I thought that was a really challenging back 9, very interesting. Reachable par 5s, drivable par 4. Really interesting par 3. I thought that was a really fascinating tournament. It went all over the place, didn't it? And it was in question right up to the end. So I thought that was a really nice track, that.
Very much so. And you've got to show Jason Kokrak some respect now. I mean, his win rate lately is incredible. That's 3 wins in 13 months. Wow. He's won 3 of his last 27 PGA Tour events. We backed him for his previous one, the CJ Cup, and he played like an absolute muppet. But
it's always the way, isn't it?
Always the ruddy way, it seems. The penny has well and truly dropped for Kokrak. Yes, it's very unusual for a player to suddenly become a prolific winner in their mid-30s. But that's what he's done, and his caddy has got to take a lot of credit for that. David Robinson. David Robinson suggested to Kokrak that he needed a longer putter. He needed a more upright putting stance. Since they've done that, and Robinson has taken over reading the greens for Kokrak, Kokrak's been amazing. His putting stats are fantastic now. A bit like Adrian Newes on the European Tour. Jason Kokrak has gone from being a really bad putter to a really good putter, and he's rising up the world rankings as a result. 22nd in the world now.
He was a bit of a clumsy putter back in the day, wasn't he? Didn't we back him once, and he was sort of, putting like an elephant at one point?
Yeah, the Valspar, wasn't it? Yeah. He 3-putted from the edge of the green. Yeah. No, he used to be clumsy, and now he's got some dexterity in those fingers.
Absolutely. Anything else we should mention before we look ahead to this week?
I don't think so. We've got 3 tournaments this week. A lot of excitement. I'm always pumped up for 3 tournaments. Each way trebles. Let's go.
I'm not having this 3rd tournament. It's the Dunlop Phoenix. I've literally just about heard of one of the players. But anyway, a winner's a winner, isn't it? But we'll start with the classy event of the week, and it's the DP World Tour Championship. And are you excited by the fact the European Tour is no more? It's now the World Tour, isn't it?
I think excited to going a bit strong. Yeah. I think it's a shame. The European Tour has been part of my life for my whole adult life. I don't want to get all wistful about it, but I just think but I think it had to be done because the Saudi tour's coming in. You got all these other ideas coming in, so I think they needed to surrender to the Dubai businessmen.
Okay, fair enough. Right then, well, we've got a decent field now. Big Johnny Rahm is not involved this week, but plenty of other good ones are. We've got two dominating the market. These are roughly best prices. Rory McIlroy 6s, Colin Morikawa 17-2. Tommy Fleetwood is 16, so's Matt Fitzpatrick, and so's Abraham Answer. Sergio 18, Tyrrell Hatton 22, Paul Casey 22, Wiesberger 22, 25 bar. So decent field. West Ham fan Billy Horschel is over as well. Very exciting. Tell us all about it. Is this the final event of the season?
Very much so, John. Yeah, we're at the Earth course. 7,675 yards, par 72. Another Greg Norman design, same as last week. It's hosted from 2009 onwards. Wide fairways, bomber's paradise. All the winners have been big hitters, apart from Matt Fitzpatrick. He's the exception to the rule. He's won it twice. He's our defending champion.
Is it the one where the clubhouse is shaped like a massive, great bird of prey, and they've got and the final hole is a par 5 over water and a big slopey green? Have I got that right?
I think the second bit's right. I think the first bit is the Abu Dhabi Championship's got the big falcon there, isn't it? I don't know.
Anyway, who cares? We're not going to find the winner by knowing the shape of the clubhouse, are we?
No, that's true. Okay, sorry, I can't hear you as well as I normally do. Did you say something there?
What?
Did you say a question? No, I'm having a few technical issues with the sound, as you know. Did you ask a question there?
No, I did. No. Oh, blimey, this is going to be awkward. How many selections?
4.
4 selections. Okay, fine. Who's your headline selection?
Headline selection is a man who always plays well in this tournament, and it's Rory McIlroy at 6-1. He loves the Earth course, massively experienced there. He played in the very first edition, 2009. His full form figures at this track: 3, 5, 11, 1, 5, 2, 1, 9, 24. So 2 victories. He's placed 7 times, never outside the top 20 in 10 starts. This year, he's arrived in fantastic fettle. Really mature performance last time out to win the CJ Cup. He played the right shots at the right time, which is, often the accusation with Rory is a bit reckless at times. Course management can be lacking, but last time out it was fantastic. He played conservatively when he needed to, defended that lead down the stretch against a fast finishing Colin Morikawa. That was his 20th PGA Tour victory. I think it's a big milestone for him. There suddenly seems to be a serenity about McIlroy. He seems settled in body and mind. I don't want to get too overly dramatic about it, but he seems to have come to an acceptance. I don't know if you've been listening to his interviews lately. There's been an acceptance that Rory McIlroy is good enough to be one of the best players in the world for decades to come. You don't need to change Rory McIlroy. He's been referring to himself in the first instance. That brief period with Pete Cowan as coach has officially ended. Rory is back with Michael Bannon, his coach since he was a kid, and I think his relationship with his caddy is set in stone forever now as well. Harry Diamond's had a great year. He was instrumental in winning the Quail Hollow. He helped in the CJ Cup as well. So I think McIlroy's at peace with his team. He's at peace with his golf game, and he's got total focus on the DP World Tour Championship. Can't win the race to Dubai. He's just here to pick up the trophy. I think there should be a massive gap between him and Colin Morikawa at the top of the betting, and there isn't. So I think high rollers would be very interested in an each way bet on McIlroy.
Okay. Have you discovered a new serenity in body and mind?
Working on that. Yeah. I think when my bank balance is similar to Rory McIlroy's, I think I'll get there. But
it's not about money. Money doesn't buy you happiness.
No, that's true. No, it just aids. It can aid peace of mind.
That's true. We've got 6-1 main selection with 3 others. So who are we going for?
We have. It's such a good each way bet and eat this week. We have to have this. I didn't want to have that. But when someone's chalking up 8 each way places for a 53 runner event, you've got to get heavily involved. This is the tournament for punters to focus on. We've only got 3 in the RSM Classic and we've only got 2 in the Dunlop Phoenix. So we've got most of our eggs are in the DP World Tour Championship basket. And our next best is one of Rory McIlroy's old Ryder Cup partners, the star of Hazeltine 2016. He looked like a potential world number one then. He may eventually realise that potential. It's your old friend, Thomas Pieters, who has been chalked up at 35-1 for this. I couldn't believe it. The last time out, he secured his fifth European Tour title, not even 30 years of age yet. I mean, what did we achieve before our 30th birthday? Nothing.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
He's won 5 European Tour titles. His target over the last few weeks has been to qualify for this, the DP World Tour Championship. He immediately withdrew from the Dubai Championship last week once he got into this. So he's freshened himself up nicely after that victory. And like McIlroy, Pieters has got the power and long game class to handle this long, wide open test. This course sets up well for him. He finished 6th there in 2019. Strong desert record generally. 3 top 5s in Abu Dhabi by that beautiful clubhouse. 3rd in the 2020 Saudi International. So, yeah, I think now Pieters is back to winning ways. He's the biggest threat to McIlroy.
I'm saying nothing. Who are the other 2 tips?
Dean Burmester at 50-1. 2-time European Tour champion, contended to the halfway mark last week in Dubai Championship. That was a decent warm-up, that. He was a bit flat over the weekend, maybe got a little bit jaded because he won on the Sunshine Tour the previous week, then jetted over to Dubai. I think he's got the chance to freshen up now because there's no travel to worry about. You know, we're playing at Jumeirah Golf Estates again. We're at the Fire course last week. We're at the neighbouring Earth course this week. So that should allow Burmester to recharge the batteries. I think he'll come out all guns blazing on a course he absolutely loves. Burmester has played 3 times on the Earth course. Form figures 4, 14.
Is that it?
That's it.
You stopped very suddenly there.
Yeah, sorry. No, I thought that was enough for Burmester material. And then we got one last one.
Hang on.
Sorry.
Can you see that? That's the clubhouse.
Oh,
it's more like a tent than a
it is.
A bird of prey.
Like cheap, isn't it? Yeah, like
that's
one of those things that they have at music festivals and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've only ever been to one music festival, but I do know what people like to go in when they go to them.
Okay, we've got McIlroy, we've got Pieters, we've got Burmester, and we've got
Adri Arnoux at 75-1, completing a team of powerhouses on a course which is made for them this week. It's a big ask for Arnoux to win his first European Tour event in such a stellar tournament. And I was wondering whether just have 3 selections so I could have more on McIlroy. But as I say, such a good each-way betting heat. There's only 53 runners, 8 places with 1 firm. I want 4 bets in this. I think this is the tournament for punters to concentrate on. Arnoux lost a player for the Spanish Open last month. Don't want to talk about it. Take that one to the grave. Contended in Portugal last time out. Snowman 8th in round 3, knocked the stuffing out of him. Finished 8th. The Earth course, dreamy setup for him. This is practice-based. He lives in Dubai, often practices alongside our pal Jack Reeve, who's lived a wonderful life jetting off to Dubai. Adrian knows this track well. Wide fairways are perfect for him. 28th and 10th in his 2 starts there so far. I think that upward curve will continue.
Right, super duper. What about Morikawa? We better mention him because he's such a prominent name in the betting, isn't he? Can he win this?
He's not particularly long and he's a precise operator. I just don't think this course plays to his strengths. As I say, I think McIlroy should be around the 4-1 mark at best. I can't believe we're getting 6-1, and a much bigger price should be available on Morikawa. Sorry, I think it should be double figures.
Righty ho, let's zip across to Sea Island in Georgia. Beautiful Sea Island, where I was very, very fortunate to visit many years ago. Absolutely stunning part of the world, and it hosts the RSM Classic on the US tour this week, of course. Let's have a little spin through the prices. Scotty Scheffler 14s, Webb Simpson 16s, Cameron Smith 18, Corey Connors 25, Oosthuizen 25, Russell Henley 28, Harris English 30, 33-1 bar. So not really a tournament where the big names are coming out to play, but it's decent, it's wide open. Should be very, very interesting. Before you tell us who you fancy, tell us a little bit about the track, Steve.
Yeah, Sea Island, Georgia. It's going to be quite a breezy week in Sea Island as well. I think 3 rounds, very breezy, and 1 calm. 2 courses over the first 2 days. Seaside course and the Plantation course. Then the weekend is played exclusively on the Seaside course. Seaside course, 7,005 yards, par 70, only 2 par 5s. Plantation course, 7,060, par 72, 4 par 5s. The winner will probably go very low at the Plantation course. That's the easier track. The Seaside course, It's by the seaside, funnily enough. The Plantation, a more typical American-style track, loads of lakes and trees.
Okay, right then. So what sort of player does it suit then?
An accurate player who scrambles well.
Okay, and did you say you've got 3 tips?
3 tips, yeah.
Come on, then fire away with your main man.
Cameron Smith at 18-1, who I think will fall in love with this assignment. Regular sweet spotters will know I hate backing course debutants, but you sometimes get a little bit of value taking a chance on a player who you think will immediately take a shine to the track. Smith, at this time of the year, usually gets sidetracked by events in Australia. He's got his eye on a trip back home. He's a 2-time winner of the Australian PGA Championship in the first week of December. This year, there's no Aussie events for him to worry about, so he can load up his schedule with a bit more autumn action in the States. So that's why he's entered the RSM. Plays really well in the wind, as all Australians do.
Yeah, all inspired by Greg Norman. Cheers, Boxy.
He's a field player. He's a real shot maker, Smith in the winner, field player. And his scrambling, as we mentioned, very important this week around these tricky greens at the seaside course. His scrambling is so good. He produced one of the best flop shots I've seen in many a moon last week from a downhill lie in the Houston Open. He got magic fingers as Smith ran the greens. He was 15th last week on his Memorial Park debut. I think he goes better on his RSM Classic debut. He has been really sharp from the Olympics onwards.
Rightio. Okay, Cam Smith, the main selection, and then who have we got as the danger?
Next best is a 150-1 chance, and that is Kramer Hickok, who produced a really gutsy performance last week. He finished strongly on Sunday. 4 solid rounds for 4th place in the Houston Open. That stabilised his career nicely. We were all waiting for that. We were all waiting for Hickok to contend again. He was really impressive in the Travellers' Championship in June. At that epic playoff battle with Harris English, went on forever. He looked like a potential PGA Tour champion in that Travellers, and I think that win will come probably on a short course where his accuracy and his scrambling skills are fully rewarded. The RSM Classic is ideal for this. His fairway finding ability will set him up well at the seaside course. And like Smith, he is superb around the greens. I think it's a good opportunity to build on last week. He's won twice on the Canadian Tour. He's won once on the Corn Ferry Tour. He's only 29.
Okay, and finally...
Sorry,
mate.
Sorry, I've got all sorts of the go here. I've got a bit more cough medicine. The cough medicine's back. I got a lighter version, Cavonier Light. This one's a much more gentle one. You can just
sugar-free, is it? You can't swig it. You got to use a spoon. What are you doing, man?
No, this one's a sort of diet version. You don't have to worry about that.
How long have you been ill for now, Steve? That cold has been going on for absolutely ages, isn't it?
It's a lingerer. There's a lot of people with lingerers, isn't there? I think more people have got lingerers than they've had ever. You know, this year is full of illness in it. I'm not going to quibble. You know, there's people who are suffering more than me. I'll come through it. That's helping.
Okay.
So the final selection is Davis Thompson. We've tipped before. He's 250-1. He's a former world #1 amateur, slowly but surely settling into professional life. He's had a few PGA Tour spins. He's played all right. His best PGA Tour finish came in the 2019 RSM Classic. He tied for 23rd place when he was still an amateur. During his amateur days, he won the Jones Cup by 9 shots. The Jones Cup is played in Sea Island, Georgia, at a different track in Sea Island. Thompson was a star at the University of Georgia. This is his stomping ground. He lives in Sea Island. He's played the seaside course about 100 times. Harris English is a regular practice partner of Davis Thompson. He's like his mentor. So he knows the track as well as anyone. He's bursting with potential. He says he's a fantastic wind player. He's grown up on Sea Island, learning how to control his ball in the wind. And the icing on the cake is that his dad is the tournament director. Todd Thompson is the tournament director. So if you're watching this, Todd, give your boy a good set of tee times over the first 2 days. We're encouraging nepotism this week.
Okay, Steve, those are the 3 selections. Just a quick word on any of the market leaders who caught your eye, or was it pretty easy to get down to those 3?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get down to those 3. Yeah, I didn't see much I fancied. Yeah, just 2 massive price outsiders, and then Cameron Smith taking a chance. He'll love the course.
All right, let's move on to the 3rd tournament, the Dunlop Phoenix, which for some reason you're desperate to cover. I've hardly heard of any of them. Tell us a little bit about it, and then I think you've got a couple of tips for us, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, this was Japan's premier event before the Zozo Championship came along. And, we've had the Olympics and the Zozo in Japan this year. So overseas interest in the Dunlop is low this year. You used to get a gaggle of Americans. I mean, Tiger Woods has won this twice. Brooks Koepka has won this twice. This is admittedly one of the weakest Dunlop Phoenixes in history, and it could be a gift for the defending champion, Takumi Kanaya. Regular sweet spotters will know that we're in love with Takumi Kanaya. I think he's the new Hideki Matsuyama. Kanaya was world #1 amateur for 55 weeks. He won the Taiyao Masters in 2019 when he was still an amateur. He won the Dunlop Phoenix last year. He won another Japan Tour event in April. He almost won a 4th Japan Tour event on Sunday, lost by a shot in the latest Taiyao Masters. He finished 7th in the Zozo last month. Really consistent player. Definitely the man to beat in this. I can only see one serious danger.
And who is that one danger, Steve?
That is Hideto Tanihara at 22-1. There's only a few firms up at the moment. 11-2 Kanaya, 22 Tanihara is the best I've seen. You may get better as the prices trickle out. Tanihara got back to winning ways last week. He pipped Kanaya, in the Taiyao Masters with a final hole birdie. That ended a 5-year victory drought for Tanihara. Massive moment for a man who turns 43 today. He's 43 today. That win had been coming. His autumn form on the Japan Tour has been great. Tanihara has won 15 Japan Tour titles. I know I'm boring you with the Dunlop Phoenix, but
you are.
Tanihara is one of the best players Japan has ever produced. He finished 5th in the Open Championship, our Open Championship.
Did he really? That is interesting. I'm not bored now.
There you go.
When was that?
In 2006, he finished 5th. But there's better, more recent stuff that might really hook you in. He finished 4th in the WGC match play in 2017, semi-finalist in the WGC match in 2017. And he finished 3rd in the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth in 2017. These are achievements that 95% of this Dunlop Phoenix field can only dream of.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I didn't realise. He's flown under my radar.
Respect Hideto Tani. Respect him.
I'm interested now. Brilliant.
This tournament for me is just the same as last week's Taiyao Masters. It's a match between Takumi Kanaya and Hideto Tanihara, and I think Kanaya might get his revenge, but I'd back them both.
Okay, well, you need to get your bets on before close of play on Wednesday for that one, don't you? Likewise, Dubai, America starts at lunchtime on Thursday. Let's reiterate the tips, Steve. In the what's it called, the DP World Championship?
DP World Tour Championship. Rory McIlroy, Thomas Peters, Dean Burmester and Adri Arnaus.
And in the RSM Classic,
Cameron Smith, Kramer Hickok, Davis Thompson. Watch your bets on the Thompsons. 3 different Thompsons playing this week. Michael Thompson and Curtis Thompson. Daley Thompson didn't qualify.
Jolly good. And finally, the Dunlop Phoenix.
Takumi Kanaya, Hideto Tanihara.
Okay, thanks a lot, mate. How are you? Oh, well. Oh, go on. What?
Well, I'd just like to advise an each-way treble because I always get excited by these triple headers, and the Dunlop Phoenix for me is very exciting. If you have Rory McIlroy, Cameron Smith, and Takumi Kanaya in a treble, an each-way treble is 864-1 at the moment.
Nice, 50p each-way treble. That'd do some damage, wouldn't it?
That'll get you some Christmas presents.
Absolutely. Okay, mate. Nice one. Everything else all right apart from the lingering cold? Any other news?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I've got sole custody of the kids this weekend. The wife's off gallivanting around London. So, I'll be trying to entertain the kids. I'm trying to have lots of fun.
Will that be a test or a pleasure, do you think? Have you got any are the Christmas grottos open yet? Is there anything Christmassy you can do with them just yet?
That's a good question. I was thinking more Weymouth FC v Altrincham FC. That might entertain. Maybe some 10-pin bowling or something. I don't know. I've just determined that we'll have some fun. Maybe a Chinese takeaway. I've got a few thoughts in mind.
Blimey. Is there not a film they can go and see that they both like?
That's another good idea. Yeah. I am open to ideas. What we mustn't do is sit them down for 20 hours of golf and watch Daddy getting angry. So
don't do that. Forget the golf for a weekend and just have some nice family time. Excellent. That's good then. Brilliant. Righto, Steve. Excellent stuff. Where are we next week?
Joburg Open, I believe. Yeah. The start of the DP World Tour, whatever they want to call it. Yeah, the European. This is the last European Tour event.
Blimey. Life will never be the same again, will it?
It's going to take some getting used to.
I'm used to it. All right then, mate. Lovely stuff, Steve. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks as ever for watching. Don't forget to tell us who you fancy this week at the comments below. Hit that thumbs up. If you hit the thumbs down, Steve gets very, very down on life. So give us a few thumbs ups. Let us know who you fancy, and most importantly, even though there's loads of stuff going on this week and Steve's very bullish, do bet responsibly and only ever risk money you can afford to lose. Thanks very much. Back for another sweet spot next week.